Okay, this time I will introduce myself. My name is Kim Fei-Lo. I maybe last session is very interesting, and then I will introduce another session. Um, this session is very cool because I love F-sharp. Yeah, I will introduce the last session speaker, Peter. Come here. Hi, Peter.
Hello there.
Hello. I love F-sharp. Yeah.
Yes, F# everything.
Yeah. Okay. I will give you to sharing and.
Hello everyone. Hello dotnet Conf. Greetings from Prague, Czech Republic. It's great to be here with all of you. I'm Petr Samkin. I'm a developer on the F# team in dotnet. You can find me on GitHub, X, Stack Overflow, and whatever internet by this weird nickname, Piesvenaki. So in my team, we do compiler and tooling for F#. Later today or tomorrow, depending on where you are, but precisely in 5.5 hours from now, Tomasz will give you an overview of the latest F# language updates. I definitely recommend it for watching. That session will be packed. And as for my session, I'll be exploring the recent advancements in the tooling department. The talk will be rather lightweight, so demos, live coding, all the stuff. Now, before we dive in, let me briefly generally talk about F# support in Visual Studio in case you're just starting your functional journey there. F# in Visual Studio has been there forever. Visual Studio offers a broad set of F# project templates. This spans from the console app to ASP.NET projects and test projects for multiple test frameworks. Fun fact, there's even an F# tutorial project template in there. I didn't know about that until last month, but that's actually a very helpful thing for the newcomers. And for those who like scripting, Visual Studio has robust supports for F# script. As for the editor features, text editor features, there is Intellisense to assist you with coding. There's syntax highlighting, and you got the light bulb menu with various refactorings and code fixes. Reference discovery, renames, all the developer experience and convenience. And of course, the debugger works great for F#. You can navigate from F# projects to C# projects and back, and there is the F# Interactive, a great productivity booster and fan favorite. And that's it for the overview and text slides. Now I'll be just going through all the editor features I mentioned, and in that context, I will also show the things that we have added this year. Along the lines, I want to generally shine a light on what kinds of tasks we do to improve the tooling and how you can get involved. So, one new feature for F# in Visual Studio, hints. We now have type hints, return type hints, and parameter name hints. Let's see them all in action. Let's write some basic F# code. So here we go. There are some type hints here, functional parameters. There is the return type hint for the whole function. And here are the parameter name hints for the arguments in the function call. F# hints show information that the compiler infers. C# has had this for a while. Now we have this for F# as well. So our opinion is that if you write or read good F# code, you might not need the hints. However, F#, despite its design focus on clarity, doesn't stop anyone from writing, let's say, more obscure code, and that's where the hints shine. So let me copy-paste some less spectacular F# writing to prove the point. See, since here someone was too lazy to create variables or believed that one simple variable names are clear enough, hints genuinely enhance readability. So that's all to say that sometimes hints might help a lot, sometimes they might distract a bit. and they are currently in preview and opt-in. Here's where you find them in the settings. You go to Tools, Options, F#, Advanced, and Inline hints. There you go. You can also use search here if you want. Give hints a try. As for the future development, we plan to implement the toggle behavior for them and move them out of preview. Meanwhile, there are lots of big and small features about them you can help with. So I'm sharing the link to the GitHub ticket area where you can pick the task. And F# hints are easy to write, and we have a test harness for them, so you can get started with them real quick. Code fixes. Let's move to the code fixes. Code fixes are quick actions available in the light bulb menu. They are triggered by diagnostics, errors, warnings, or informational messages. Diagnostics have an ID and a location, and they are often indicated by a squiggly line. Code fixes automatically resolve the diagnostics. Again, let's see them in action. If you read the dotnet blog, you should have seen this example in a rather recent blog post dedicated to the F# code fixes. This function just filters even numbers. You might write the code like this if you often switch from C# to F#, since the syntax for lambda expressions is a bit different. Basically, in F# with lambdas, you have fun. That's exactly what the code fix offers you here. If you press Ctrl dot, change it to add the missing fun keyword. Now, we have more than 30 code fixes in the arsenal. Some of them are related to C# to F# interaction. Others are about just removing unnecessary code. And yet others are very F# specific. For example, since F# values are immutable by default, you need to use the special syntax. You need to be explicit about mutability and use special syntax when changing mutable values. And that's what the code fix will offer in this case. We spent a lot of time this summer fixing bugs in code fixes and testing them. We have also added a couple of new ones. For example, this one is also another common newcomer mistake, basically a syntax issue when working with records. Last but not least, in that regard, we have also added the bulk behavior for the many of the code fixes. Here's an example. In F#, you usually don't need to add the new keyword when constructing types. However, you do need to do that if the type is disposable, and otherwise the compiler complains. And that's exactly what the code fix here offers you to do, to add the new keyword. And you can apply it to all the occurrences of this issue across the document, project, or solution. So Visual Studio will show you a preview, and there you go. By the way, code fixes are also somewhat adjustable. There are a couple of settings for them in Visual Studio Options. They have a dedicated section there. So our ambition in this area is to have many more code fixes and have them working as robustly as possible. And just as with hints, we now have a test harness for them. So if you want to develop a new code fix, or improve an existing one, you'll be able to easily do this and help. I'm sharing a GitHub tickets area here in the link. Intellisense is a code completion feature that we love about Visual Studio. This includes member type suggestions, displaying parameter information, providing quick info tooltips, which all enhances coding productivity by reducing typos, need for constant reference to the docs. You probably know that. So Intellisense works well for F#. You can see, let's have some basic code. You can see things like parameter names in the tooltips here. You can see the docs immediately as well here. Yep, all those perks. You know, as developers, we often perceive Intellisense as a kind of magic, but surprise, actually there is a lot of code behind it. And the whole functionality is basically a composition of small pieces of logic here and there. For the following example, I will put two Visual Studios side by side so that you can see the difference. I have like the old edition and like the new edition of the Visual Studio. So let's have some anonymous record here. Yep. Now, when working with this record, we are most likely to use the field name that we have just defined rather than all this default stuff like equals get hash code. So, and like that's the change here. This will be the first suggestion now. Another example, let's have some discriminated union and match on that. Here is some nice company. Now let's do the match. Okay. So again, if you want to add a specific case here, then you would expect something to pop up here after the dot, but this is not happens because this is not happening because this was never implemented before, but now it is. So that's what happening here in the Visual Studio this time. In the same manner, record names are now suggested in pattern matching, properties are now included in the attribute completion list, and so on. These are all small changes, but we have added a few dozens of them this year. So eventually that makes a difference and improves the developer experience. And by the way, we have also added keyword descriptions. So when you hover over them, you will see hover over the keywords, you'll see some small tips about the here in type, lat, match, with, and so on. So that will be helpful for the newcomers who are just exploring the language. They won't need to open the documentation that often anymore. I hope this all demonstrates that Intellisense experience is just the sum of small hooks and tweaks around the UI elements in the editor. We will continue adding them. Also, many of the autocomplete changes were done by our external contributors. And actually, Intellisense improvements are a great way to do small but meaningful and visible enhancements to F#. So again, you are invited to help here. I'm sharing links to the GitHub ticket areas. Now, on a related note, let's talk about diagnostics. This year, we have focused a lot on the parser recovery. Parser is a part of the language compiler. Parser recovery allows the parser to continue processing the sources even after encountering an error. And instead of immediately crashing after seeing an error, it will show multiple syntax errors at once. And this is helpful for developers. To a big extent, this is a compiler matter, and Tomasz will definitely talk about it in his presentation about F# language updates. But this also has an application in tooling, in particular in regards to the autocomplete. Let me show you an example again. Let's probably have some basic record with two fields here. And now I will add a function to mention that. Okay. So, of course, this doesn't compile because we're trying to match on two record fields that don't exist. However, back in the day, you would see only the first error, and you'd first need to address that one to get to the others. And so what has changed is that now in the current Visual Studio, you have all the diagnostics right away. Two errors about the fields that don't exist, and also a warning about incomplete pattern match. That's useful for development. You get the whole picture. And what's also useful is that the autocomplete still works in the broken code. So back in the day, you would not have any autocomplete here after the error, whereas now you do. Thanks to this, developers will be less lost in the broken code, and it's easier to understand what problems to address first. Last thing I want to mention about diagnostics is that we have added an option to keep analyzing the entire solution for diagnostics in the background. With this, you'll be able to get errors without a need to recompile the whole solution. You can find it in Tools, Options, Text Editor, Sharp Advanced. Here, background analysis. It is off by default since it takes some resources and works best on the small to medium solutions. Give it a try. However, it might be a productivity enhancement for you. Now, as with previous topics, I share some related tickets on GitHub. Developers, diagnostics can always be better. We keep improving them, and you're welcome to help. Changing error text and locations is a popular activity among our external contributors, and it makes the language better for the newcomers. So that was it about editor features. Now for something completely different, let's talk about C# to F# navigation, because that's where we have also done some significant improvements. So I have here the C# project that references my F# project. And here, let's create our conference record from C#. On. Did I compile things? Huh. Sorry, small hiccup there. All right. That might, I have some problems with SDKs here. Let's see if I can demonstrate this at least in the new Visual Studio. Okay, sorry. I think something happened to the SDKs on my machine. Sorry for that. What I want to show, this will be not the best demo then, is that we now have, once you go to the definition of the record in the from C# to F#, back in the day we used to show only the compiled metadata, but now you would see what expected. You will see the F# code. Sorry, didn't work. I will switch to a different topic then. I'll switch to performance. Performance. Some people talk about that at the beginning. I talk about it at the end for some reason. Regardless, we have done a lot of work in that domain. Particularly, you will notice quicker universal code search, which is Ctrl+T in Visual Studio. You'll see the brisker syntax highlighting and faster code reference discovery. There are also many memory allocation reductions as well. One of the biggest and most diverse code bases in F# is the F# compiler itself. So we naturally dogfood all the performance improvements. And for the F# compiler solution, we have reduced allocations on cold start from 5 GB to 3 GB. Now, to prove my points, I actually have one pre-recorded video for you. This is about fast code reference discovery. In the recent Visual Studio, it should be enabled by default. If it's not, you go to Tools, Options, Text Editor, F# Performance, and enable it here. And now I'll just sit back and show you a minute-long clip which compares the references discovery time in our own code base for type code-based diagnostic. So on the left, you see Visual Studio with fast find references off. On the right, you see Visual Studio with fast find references on. The one on the right is already done. Yeah, again, we might perceive reference discovery in the code editor some magic, whereas in reality, it's far from it. Instead, it is an interesting and complex algorithmic challenge, especially in bigger code bases. There are a lot of odd and unexpected corner cases there that F# users keep reporting, and so we keep perfecting this important feature. Of course, more good stuff coming soon. In the upcoming months, we want to further focus on performance. There are plenty of opportunities there. And of course, these opportunities are available for our external contributors as well. You're welcome to chime in to the ticket area, speed things up, and improve everybody's life. That's it. Actually, I just want to emphasize once again that F# is open source. It's heavily driven by the community, a wonderful community. Our external contributors send us a lot of PRs, from implementing language suggestions to fixing small bugs, and we love that. F# support in Visual Studio is also open source in the same repo, and there are many ways to help in that area as well. We have a bunch of good first issues. And recently, we do focus a lot on making things easy to unit test. I'm sure there are a lot of active and future F# programmers here, and contributing to F# integration in VS is actually a great way to improve our own life, our own developer life, and see the difference. If you want to join us on this journey, follow the links on the slide, and we will welcome your help. More links. Note that this year we've become quite active on the internet. We often post to the dotnet blog and X. We have friendly and open communities in Slack and Discord. Just pick your platform and get in touch. And that's all I want to share for today. Thanks a lot for your attention. I appreciate you have joined the session. I hope it was clear, informative, and fun. We have probably some time for the questions.
Thanks, Peter. Very cool topic. I love F#. I always use F# to finish some .NET Mario project. I want to know something about the official support. F# will more focus some on Mario project because F# you to describe UI is very cool. Does F# team have some plan to do this?
So, sorry, once again, what's the question?
The F# team will focus more or to use F# to some UI.
Sure.
Just like Mario, I love to use F# to finish some Mario projects. It's very cool, but this is open source project. Some people say they wait at the official support. Yeah.
You know, we do, like in the F# team, we do just the compiler and also the editor tooling. As for the whole front end that is written in F#, that's all the community work. F# is transpiled to everything possible, I think, in the world. And we have like a great UI and front-end project called Fable, and like there are different efforts to just make F#, to have it in the front end. So people do that. We just stare and enjoy those like fantastic efforts. This is all amazing.
Okay, thank you, Peter. See you. Maybe see you next time. We did your session is very good. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Sure. Bye.